Toastmasters and guests. So at the end of this meeting, Jeff is going to come up here, amongst other evaluators, he's going to come up here and evaluate me. Now, what do you think are some of the thoughts that might be going through Jeff's mind as he prepares his evaluation, as he comes up here at the end? Give me some ideas. What's going through Jeff's mind right now?
What's her body language like?
Yeah,
How
okay.
engaging is she?
Okay, so that's one of the things he's looking at for body language, yeah. Anything else? Like as an evaluator.
I think it's important to ask the speaker what they hope to work towards and focus on that when you're evaluating.
Absolutely, yeah. So you want to talk to the person ahead of time to find out what they want you to focus on as an evaluator. Excellent. Any other ideas? Any other thoughts? Yes?
Maybe a hook, a catchphrase to grab the audience attention.
Okay, Jeff does? Jeff needs a hook?
No, I mean, he's looking for...
Oh, he's looking for me, sorry, yeah. He's looking for me to have a hook, yeah, absolutely, yeah, yeah. I'll take one more, okay, Megan.
He might be thinking how to sort of structure his evaluation in a way that's really clear and provides good feedback for the speaker.
Yes, yeah, feedback for the speaker. I mean, if they can't understand what you said or take anything from that, how they can improve, then what was the point of even coming out here? So yeah, he has to think about how to structure his evaluation. Excellent, so yes, those are all things that where Jeff's sitting there is perhaps thinking right now. I have a handout for you. And as Jay said, this will be an interactive workshop. This is not a speech. This isn't me just talking at you right now. So you can take one and just pass that along. So in the comments that we just heard, we started to come to some understanding perhaps of why evaluations are so important. Right? As an evaluator, you play a critical role in the speaker's development. So it's on the skill side, as Megan said, you need to understand the feedback that is coming from the evaluator. But you also want the evaluator to lift you up in your confidence. What is the point of hearing all this stuff about what you can do better if you leave not wanting to come back here again? So think about it, as an evaluator, it's both on the skill side, but also on the attitude, the confidence building side. Now, does everyone have a handout now? Did that go around? Okay. So you'll see here, I have 3 pillars of a good evaluation, under why evaluation matters. And you want to deliver an evaluation that, right, so you see those 3 things? So really, this is what you're working towards as an evaluator. You want to give the speaker genuine praise of what they did well. I think that everybody who gets up here does something well. You can always find something to compliment someone on. Even if they came up here, forgot their words, fell down on their face, but got back up and started again, well, that's what you comment on, that they had the guts to do that. There's always something someone has done well. And number 2, you provide some specific suggestions on how they can make the next speech even better. And finally, as I said, you want to motivate the speaker to want to come up and give another speech. There is no point in coming up here if the person walks out of the room thinking, oh, I'm not doing that again, forget it. So it's on the skills and the confidence side. Now, to help you along with this, I have here the 3 M's of good evaluations. So this is really a framework that you can use. And I got this from the Toastmasters conference in April. I think Shirley was there. I don't know that anyone else was at that conference, but you may not have been at this workshop. But speaking from experience, advanced Toastmasters, like they did a workshop there that talked about how you give a good evaluation. And they did it in terms of the 3 M's. So just quickly, I want to walk you through the 3 M's here. So number 1 is to be measured. Be measured. You want to have roughly the same number of glows, what someone did well, and grows, what they could improve on. And you also want to make sure your glows and grows are appropriate for the speaker's current level and their abilities. So if someone had just come up here, as we had someone give their icebreaker speech, you wouldn't necessarily say to someone who's just starting, oh, you have to get away from the notes and come out here and walk all around the room. No, that's not appropriate given their level. Just make sure that it fits their current abilities. So moving on to be meaningful. The second M, meaningful. You can't just say, good job, fantastic speech. You have to be specific, genuine, and try to make your recommendations future focused. So you see here the before. Make eye contact. Instead, how about you say something like, your speech came alive during moments when you looked right at the audience. I'd love to see more of that in your next speech. So you're very specific about what you'd like to see, and you tie it to future performance. And then finally, the third M, be motivational. Again, going back to, you want to lift someone up through your words and your tone. So try to avoid words like, you should have, you didn't, you need to. And you can see here in the after column, you might want to say and end with, what I liked the most about your speech was. That's something that came out of that workshop as well, the Toastmasters conference. They said, hang back on their biggest superstar quality until the very end. You know, you often hear here, and I'm guilty of doing this too, the last thing you say is, I look forward to your next speech. That's sort of boilerplate stuff. How about you instead say, and what I liked most about your speech was, and end on that. And you compliment them on the progress they made. Think back to how they were a few speeches ago, a few months ago. Talk about the progress. So that's a way to be motivational to people. All right, so now that I've done my little lecture, we are going to get into an exercise that's going to help you start to assess, like, what makes for a good evaluation. So I have another handout for you. So this is for the exercise. And this contains 4 very short sample evaluations. So if you take one and pass those along. Everyone's really quiet. You all seem very shell-shocked. There's something like, do you have questions? Do you have comments? So please feel free to jump in. Everyone looks very serious, actually. So let's try to liven things up a little bit. Well, you will be, because you're going to be talking at me now in a little while. So I'm handing out this sheet, these 4 short evaluations. And the scenario is that this woman, Anna, she's a new Toastmaster. She's just given speech number 2 from the Confident Communicator. So that was organize your speech. We have 4 sample evaluations. I'm going to give you a minute or 2, just here on your own, to read through these. Okay, well, let's take 3 minutes. We might go a little bit over. So let's take 3 minutes in your groups and discuss which is the most effective, you think, okay? All right, break into your groups. So let's hear from you. Let's hear from a few different groups. Let's see. You guys here, like, what do you think was the best evaluation?
We were actually torn. We didn't come to a decision.
Oh, you did? That's
We're all very
true. We need a keyword, yeah.
So I thought number 2 was the best. We had arguments that number 1 was the best and number 4 was the best as well.
Wow, all over the place.
So we were
So can I hear, why did someone say number 4 was the best, for instance?
I actually chose number 4 because I think it's to the point and it has, maybe it doesn't have the 3 M's that you were talking about, so that's why I will second guess myself, but I think it's short and sweet and to the point.
Yeah, it's important in an evaluation. Any other thoughts? Yeah.
I think number 2 kind of, because it has the glows and the grows, it's saying that what they did well, you open with a story, you're well organized, but I struggle with your purpose and why you should tell the audience, and then lastly it says, but that's okay because that's the next speech.
Right.
So it kind of softens the tone a bit.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Let's hear from another group. What did you guys say? Did you come to a decision?
We did. We liked the second one because of its balance, and we really liked the gentle way that the constructive feedback was given in this one.
So balance, the measured, but then tone, the motivation. And how it ends. Okay, let's hear from the other groups. We still have this group. What do you guys think?
So we actually landed on number 2 as well, just because for the same reasons. Combining both the sort of constructive and the sort of positive, and then to especially for a second level sticker.
Okay, okay. And so finally, down here, what did you guys think?
We'll say number 2.
Okay, another vote for 2. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 'cause it's measured on motivational and meaningful.
Okay.
So,
What-
so
sorry.
just another thing, we see the other ones may have 1 or 2 of the M's, but none of the other 3 has the 3 M's. So this is the only one where we detected 3 M's.
So it sounds like a lot of votes for 2. Yeah, that's what I would say is the most effective as well. And you're right, it hits on the 3 M's. They're all there. Let me just ask you, what did you think of number 1? Like what M's were there and what weren't there?
It's not meaningful.
Yeah, it's
Not
motivational.
Hmm?
It's motivational, but it's not meaningful.
And it's measured.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So motivational, you make the person feel good, but to what end? Like how are they going to improve? That's the whitewash. Any other final thoughts before we wrap up on this? Yes?
I think what threw me off was the wording. It in 2 and 3, the tell us why we should care sounds a little harsh to me.
Oh, interesting. I hadn't thought of that. Thanks for sharing.
Because that sounds like, yeah, tell me why I should care about what you say. To
Actually-
me, that was like a little harsh. So like, why you know?
Yeah, I hadn't really thought of that.
So maybe a good change would be give us a reason to care.
Yes, yeah, I like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Promote a better tone, or, yeah, that's true, I hadn't thought about that, yeah. But 2 and 3, I purposely made those pretty close, just so 3 was a little bit tricky, because 3 is future focused. But it's not measured, it's not motivational, it's pretty negative. Any final comments, 1 or 2 final comments? No? Did you find this to be a useful activity?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I think the main benefit of going through this is next time I go up to do an evaluation, I don't know if I'm going to think of the 3 M's, so I'm going to be a lot less harsh when I'm delivering the information. And more tactful in delivering that information and have a better appreciation for the delivery of my criticisms and praises at the same time. So thank you for that.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. Well, that's a nice segue to my last question. What do you think is now going through Jeff's mind as he prepares to evaluate? The 3 M's, okay. And what were they?
Meaning.
Yes, yeah. All right, so that is it. And I hope you remember next time to think about the 3 M's, or even, as Kendrick said, even if you don't think just of the 3 M's, just think about your tone and making sure that you're delivering substantive, meaningful feedback. Thank you.